When you're in a peer mentor group, it's not like you can kind of get away with doing what you want in a lecture. It kind of demands your attention, especially with Ashley. And she talks our language.
Had I a golden thread and a needle so fine, I would weave a magic spell of rainbow design, of rainbow.
Because it gave you like an open forum to talk about what you do understand and what you don't understand, and the anxiety of the teacher being in the room kind of thing isn't there. So you can kind of say what you're thinking and what you're having trouble with, and you know, and the peer educator also knows what you're going through because they were just in your position a year or two ago. So it's kind of good so you can complain.
Because I think that it's easier sometimes to talk to them as to like and approach them than like a teacher would be.
I just really like the way it's a group of people the same age, and it's like a group of peers, literally, and it's not like they have all this power. Because
I think I saw her more as a mentor. I wouldn't say it was more as a friend, because I mean, she would go and check our work and that.
Help them through like positive reinforcement and getting them to explain back to me what it is that we're talking about. And I think that through explaining verbally what we're talking about, then it reinforces to them that they know more than what they think they know, and that they gain confidence in themselves.
The way that Moni's taught us and incorporated all of these discussions, it's kind of like debriefing for an actual case study with the patient. We talk about the diseases and outcomes and drugs, and she's always asking us questions and making us explain things. So through us telling her what we know helps us to realize all that we know. Sometimes you'll step back and think that, gosh, how am I going to know all of this and study for all the exams? But when you're actually talking through everything, you realize that you understand it, and if you can explain it, you definitely know what you're talking about.
Like I want us to sit in a circle, and like I want to be like part of it with them and like help them. I don't want it to be like I'm going to talk at you and like be the one in charge of you. Like you all have to do your own work, and then we'll just kind of go through it together.
And like which part of the eyes, like you need to like make how it's like this way and how you see things and so
like incorporating it all together, like trying to see like the bigger picture, and then like going backwards and being like, okay, so this is like the end, like how do we get to that? And then
we had that, but then we went through every single one and reasoned through each question, through each body system, why, like we argued over it, like we found like discrepancies, and it just, like I remember like all of that. I learned so much. So.
And like I really did, when I would be taking exams and there would be certain questions, I'd be sitting there and that discussion that we had from class would come up in my head, and I'd be like, oh, so now I remember, that's the answer. It just helped me remember things more, and I think the whole case study application in itself helps you grasp the fuller picture, especially since we haven't had clinical experience yet.
Role model. I hope that I brought some of the clinical experiences to them and kind of had them think clinically. Like today they were talking about how the case studies, when they look at them, it seems so foreign to them and they don't really understand, but then when we actually go through them and talk about things, they're like, wow, like I really get that, like I know how to think like a nurse.
What Ashley does is she doesn't focus on the question, she focuses on the body system, which I think is the key to not only like learning, but memorizing this stuff. Because I'm the queen of memorization. Give me a list and I will memorize it and get an A, but I'll forget it
a month later. But Ashley will go through the systems and not talk in any jargon that you can't understand, but just piece it all together, and it just makes so much sense.
As far as me being a mentor, I don't necessarily feel like I've been a mentor. I've just been being me.
Monique has been my peer educator, and she's an inspiration to me. She knows so much about nursing, and you can tell that she really cares about what she wants to do.
Yeah, because I think the role of a mentor is to kind of guide you to get to where you need to go.
To be someone that truly cares about helping others succeed.
And, you know, I look at them, I see how well they did, and I look at what they're doing now, and I like kind of take mental notes that I'm like, okay, so when they're going through this clinical, I'll know what to expect, because they like to share their stories.
Like, I've already been there, I did it, and like, I didn't die, so it is possible to survive it.
Not only are they teachers for you for like the case studies, but they also help you know what's coming up next with clinicals and with HESIs and with just any other questions that you have.
I would say that a mentor is someone that they don't necessarily have to be in your class, but they help you in the subject that you need help in, or any, I guess, part of life. And they just help you like move along and like show you the right steps, the right steps to go to. And I guess when it comes to peer educators, it's the same thing. I guess like when it comes to Patho, you can get lost really easily, but they help you like stay on track, and they make sure you don't get discouraged, and they give you like tips and helps, and they're just there if you need them, because they've gone through it too. So it makes it easier for them to be a mentor because they know what it's like, so they can help you with it.
Trying to show them a role model and give them examples of how what they're learning in their lecture class applies to clinical settings, since they don't have that experience yet, and also sort of show them how everything comes together rather than just a bunch of facts on a page.
I think a mentor is someone that you can relate to, and you trust their opinions and you trust what they're saying, but it's someone not necessarily closer to your own age, but is going through or has just gone through something similar to you, so that you feel like you have a relationship with them and you trust them. You can ask them for advice, but at the same time they are not necessarily even a little older than you, but just like a step or two ahead of you, so that they've been there.
So the peer educator experiences prepare me to be a nurse by seeing that people learn differently than I do. So.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with leading a group. A little bit of maybe management skills, or understanding how the group dynamic works. It's definitely helped in a lot of ways with that. Also, it's definitely been a great refresher for Patho and Pharm, like with the HESI and hopefully with the NCLEX. So I'll see some things that I might not have remembered if I hadn't been doing this, because I look at things sometimes when I'm like getting ready for these case study groups that I'm like, oh, I don't remember this. It was hard to remember it in the first place. So definitely I think it will help just having the information all again.
It gives you a leg up on your other classes as well.
It does. It's helped in critical care.
Exactly.
Critical care, yeah.
We were talking about the esophageal varices.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that because
we had a case study on
that. And that made me feel so much better. And there were like a bunch of blank stares, and I was looking at Claire, and I was like, we know this.
Yeah.
I would weave the courage.
Would you ever want to be a teacher?
Yeah.
Do you think that this experience has leaned you in that direction or made any difference at all?
Oh, definitely. I never liked having to talk in front of people until like this. At least knowing like I can help them at least to a point, even if it's something little. Like, I like it. So, yeah.